After 70, stay calm, stay strong. 8 life-changing reasons to master emotional independence. As we grow older, we're often told to be warm-hearted, patient, and forgiving. But the truth is, if you don't learn how to live a little colder and emotionally detached, you may end up drained, manipulated, and exhausted. In this video, we'll reveal 6 powerful reasons why living coldly after 70 is a form of self-care and a way to protect your peace. These lessons will change how you view aging, helping you reclaim the peace and strength you've worked a lifetime to build. Learn how emotional detachment can protect your mental health, preserve your energy, and teach you how to care for yourself without feeling guilty. Don't miss out, because one of the final points will make you rethink what truly matters in life. Watch the video now to understand how you can start changing your life today. Number 1. Emotional detachment protects your peace. As you move into your golden years, you no longer need to throw yourself into every emotional storm. In fact, one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself after 70 is the power of emotional detachment. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you choose where to care. It's a wise form of self-protection, a shield that preserves your inner peace and strengthens your emotional resilience. Take Mr. James, a 77-year-old retiree, for example. He used to be the one fixing everyone's problems, always jumping in to solve conflicts, mediate family disputes, or absorb others' emotional baggage. But these days, James has learned a different kind of wisdom. He listens without trying to fix. When I stopped trying to control everyone's emotions, he says, I finally started to control my peace. And isn't that what we all want? Ask yourself this. Are you carrying emotional burdens that don't belong to you? Many of us do it out of love, duty, or habit, but as we age, our energy becomes more precious. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every story needs your advice. Choosing emotional distance isn't cold, it's clarity. As philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think of your emotions like a garden. If you let everyone walk through it with their drama, complaints, and negativity, they'll trample the beauty you've spent years cultivating. But when you set boundaries, when you decide who and what is allowed in, you protect that peace. That's not selfishness. That's self-respect. And it's not just about people, it's about what you consume. Are you letting the news, social media, or old regrets drain your spirit? You have the right to step back. You have the right to choose silence over noise, stillness over chaos, and calm over control. Carl Jung once said, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. The moment you stop letting others dictate your emotions, you awaken to a deeper kind of strength. So no, emotional detachment is not about closing your heart. It's about opening it wisely. You still care. You still love. But now you decide who gets that love and how much space they occupy in your mind. You protect your peace not by hiding away, but by standing tall within. So here's the question. Who are you still trying to please, and is it worth your peace? What would your days look like if you stopped letting everything affect you so deeply? What kind of life would you live if you chose calm over conflict? If this message speaks to you, if you're on a journey to live stronger, wiser, and more peacefully after 70, then you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring lessons, real stories, and empowering advice tailored to your journey through later life. Your peace starts here. Let's protect it together. Number 2, saying no without feeling guilt will conserve your energy. When you reach your 70s, life is no longer about chasing achievements or constantly pleasing others. It becomes a time to live for yourself. And one of the most powerful lessons you can learn at this stage is this. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. It might sound simple, but in truth, it holds the key to protecting your peace, your health, and your energy. Have you ever felt drained because you kept saying yes to things you didn't truly want to do? Have you agreed to favors, events, or responsibilities just to avoid disappointing someone? Many older adults fall into the trap of over-accommodation, driven by kindness, duty, or fear of being judged. But the cost of constantly saying yes is real. Your time, your strength, and your joy slowly slip away. Here's the truth. Saying no is a form of self-respect and self-care. It's not selfish. It's wise. Your energy is not unlimited. As author Paulo Coelho once said, when you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. Take Margaret, a 74-year-old grandmother, as an example. For most of her life, she was known as the one who was always available, helping neighbors, babysitting for her grown children, volunteering, and saying yes to almost every request. Over time, Margaret began to feel overwhelmed and even resentful. But everything changed when she started practicing the gentle art of saying no. Not harshly, not rudely, just honestly. She realized she didn't need to justify every decision or feel guilty for protecting her time. And through that simple shift, she rediscovered her joy and calm. Have you ever thought that saying no could be a gift to yourself? When you turn something down, you're actually saying yes to your peace, your rest, and your ability to enjoy life on your terms. You're saying yes to slow mornings, quiet afternoons, and the freedom to choose what really matters. A well-known psychologist once said, "You don't owe anyone your exhaustion just so they can be comfortable." And that's especially true in the later years of life. At this point, your greatest treasure is not in possessions. It's in your peace of mind, your health, in the time you have left to truly live. So let me ask you, are you saying yes too often? Are there things or people you feel obligated to prioritize, even when it drains you? If so, take a moment and ask yourself, does this bring me peace? Does it serve me, or does it cost me? And if the answer is no, then it's okay to say no. Because after 70, you have nothing left to prove. You've lived, you've given, you've cared. Now you deserve to protect your energy and choose what aligns with your heart. Saying no doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. It allows you to show up fully for the things and people that truly matter. As Eleanor Roosevelt wisely said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Stand tall, say no with kindness, and reclaim your time, your joy, and your life. Number 3, selective empathy protects your mental health. Selective empathy is not selfish. It's a conscious choice to be caring without becoming consumed. It means being present for others while still maintaining your inner boundaries. As you age, your energy becomes a precious resource. Giving it away recklessly through excessive worry or emotional entanglement can drain your physical and mental health. As psychologist Carl Jung once said, "You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become." You have the right to choose peace. Take the story of Walter, 78 years old. For most of his life, Walter took on everyone's pain. A friend's heartbreak, his children's financial stress, even the sadness of neighbors. Over time, he realized that constantly internalizing others' struggles was slowly eroding his own well-being. Sleepless nights, rising blood pressure, and anxiety became his reality. But then Walter made a shift. He chose to care without collapsing. He still listens, still supports, but now he knows when to step back. He's finally living with clarity, balance, and peace. Remember this quote by Eleanor Brown: "You cannot serve from an empty vessel. You can't help others if you're running on empty." At this stage in your life, your serenity must come first. Your wisdom, your calm, your energy. These are gifts, and they deserve protection. Selective empathy isn't about turning cold. It's about staying strong so you can keep showing up for the people you love without losing yourself in the process. So, are you ready to step into your later years with a lighter heart? Are you ready to protect your peace without apology? Say it with me. I can care, but I do not have to carry. If this message speaks to you or someone you love, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more powerful life lessons, inspiring stories, and practical advice for living well after 70. Your peace matters, and we're here to help you protect it. Number 4, protecting your time will boost your self-esteem. And the way you choose to spend your time is a direct reflection of your self-worth, your inner peace, and the values that define your life. Ask yourself honestly, what am I giving my precious time to? If you still find yourself saying yes out of obligation, stretching yourself thin to please others, then perhaps it's time to learn the strength of living a little more coldly, not with bitterness, but with clarity, intention, and deep self-respect. Let me share the story of Margaret, a vibrant 75-year-old woman. For most of her life, Margaret was the one who always said yes. Yes to running errands for neighbors, yes to last-minute babysitting, yes to every social gathering, even when she felt exhausted. Eventually, she realized she was running on empty. Her days were full, but her heart was hollow. One morning, she looked at herself in the mirror and thought, "I've lived long enough to finally live for myself." That moment marked a turning point. Margaret began saying no, not out of rudeness, but as a way to reclaim her time, her energy, and her joy. And guess what? She felt lighter, freer, more alive than she had in years. As the old saying goes, time is gold, but after 70, time is diamond. Every moment of mental clarity and physical ability becomes a precious resource. Why give it away so easily? Why fill your calendar with things that don't fill your soul? It's okay to say no. It's okay to protect your peace. Ask yourself, does this truly bring me joy? If the answer is no, then lovingly step away. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. Stephen R. Covey once wrote, "You have to decide what your highest priorities are and have the courage, pleasantly, smilingly, non-apologetically, to say no to other things." And the way you do that is by having a bigger yes burning inside. That bigger yes is your peace of mind, your well-being, your legacy. Living coldly isn't about turning your back on the world. It's about turning toward yourself. It's about recognizing that you've earned the right to choose how you spend your days. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You've done enough. Now it's time to live in a way that honors the life you've built and the person you've become. So, dear friend, protect your time as you would protect your most cherished possession. Set boundaries not to push others away, but to draw yourself closer to what truly matters. You are not here to fill every request or fix every problem. You are here to be, to enjoy, to rest, to laugh, to reflect, and to love on your own terms. Are you ready to live like that? With calm strength, clear purpose, and unapologetic peace? Number 5, say no, protect your personal boundaries. One of the most powerful life lessons you can embrace is this: learn to say no in order to protect your peace and personal boundaries. At this stage in life, you've already given so much: your time, your energy, your patience, to family, friends, and society. Now it's time to turn inward and prioritize your own well-being. Have you ever asked yourself, what would it feel like to finally choose myself? With age, many people around you might expect you to always be available, to help, to listen, to attend, to agree. But constantly saying yes can slowly erode your energy and sense of self. Learning to say no is not selfish. It is a deeply intentional act of self-respect and emotional balance. As Brené Brown wisely said, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. Take the story of Henry, a retired school teacher who is now 76 years old. For most of his life, Henry was a yes man, always ready to help, always afraid of letting others down. But over time, he began to feel drained and invisible. That's when he made a change. Henry started setting gentle but firm boundaries. He declined invitations that exhausted him. He refused conversations that were filled with negativity. And the result? He found peace. He rediscovered his own voice. He started feeling like himself again. Saying no is not about shutting people out. It's about creating space for authentic relationships, ones where others respect your time and emotional energy. When you protect your boundaries, you're not only defending your peace, you're also honoring the life you've built and the wisdom you've gained. Your time is more valuable now than ever before. Your energy is precious. Don't give it away carelessly. Are you allowing others to cross your boundaries too easily? Do you feel guilty when you say no? If so, it may be time to pause and reflect. You have every right to protect your peace. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And to nourish your thoughts, you need silence, space, and self-respect." Aging is not the end. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you finally get to live truthfully on your own terms. So the next time you feel pressured to say yes, take a breath and ask yourself, is this serving my peace? If the answer is no, then saying no is the most loving thing you can do for yourself. If this message speaks to you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring life lessons, practical health advice, and empowering stories for your golden years. Let's walk this journey together with peace, strength, and dignity. Number 6, separation from the results brings true peace. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or being indifferent. It means learning to detach from outcomes, a practice that brings profound peace and inner strength. Ask yourself, how many times in your life have you been stressed over something beyond your control? And did that stress truly help you or anyone else? At 79, Mr. Harold Simmons discovered this truth for himself. Once a devoted father and retired teacher, he used to stay up late worrying about his grown children's choices. He believed that if he worried enough, he could somehow protect them from failure or pain. But over time, he came to realize something important. His worry didn't help them. It only drained him. "I noticed I wasn't solving anything," he shared. "I was just making myself anxious." Now, Harold only gives advice when asked and trusts that his children will figure things out on their own. He no longer tries to control, and in return, he's gained peace, clarity, and a deeper connection with those he loves. Trying to control people or outcomes often leads to unnecessary stress. We think control ensures success or safety, but in reality, control is an illusion. As author Eckhart Tolle once said, "Peace begins when you accept the present moment as it is, not as you wish it to be. When you detach from outcomes, doing your best without clinging to how things turn out, you choose wisdom over worry, serenity over struggle. Imagine your mind as a still lake. Every time you obsess over something beyond your influence, you drop a stone into that lake, creating ripples of anxiety and chaos. But when you let go, the water settles. In that calmness, you can hear your true self. You begin to see what really matters: your health, your joy, your presence, not whether things go exactly as planned. Ask yourself, what if I stopped trying to control everything? Would I fall apart, or would I become stronger? The answer, often surprising, is that letting go makes you more resilient. Because true strength isn't about grasping tightly, it's about trusting in yourself, in life, and in the natural course of things. As Lao Tzu once wrote, "He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough." When you detach from results, you're no longer chasing validation or outcomes. You're saying to yourself, "I am enough as I am," and that is where true peace begins. Are you ready to live with more lightness, clarity, and grace? Maybe it's time to release a worry, let go of an expectation, and embrace a new kind of strength, the quiet power that comes from within. Number 7, protecting your physical health requires setting limits. Ask yourself, how much of my energy am I spending on things that drain me instead of nourish me? Take Claire, for example. At 72, she used to volunteer for every community event and help her neighbors with everything, often neglecting her own health. She thought being helpful was her purpose, but her body started to rebel. She felt constantly tired, her blood pressure rose, and aches became part of daily life. That's when she realized something important. Setting limits isn't selfish, it's an act of self-love. Claire now chooses activities that align with her physical capacity, prioritizes rest, and lives a slower but richer life. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you choose where to direct your energy wisely, you're also choosing the quality of your life. Don't feel guilty for saying no. You are allowed to decline a phone call when you're tired, skip a stressful gathering, or refuse to help someone if it comes at the cost of your own health. Your well-being is not something to be sacrificed for others' expectations, and those who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. Think of your body after 70 like a delicate garden. It doesn't need more. It needs the right care. Setting limits doesn't make you weaker. It makes you wiser. So ask yourself, what truly makes me feel energized? Who lifts me up and who drains me? These questions help you draw lines that protect your peace. Dr. Atul Gawande, author of Being Mortal, emphasizes that in old age, quality of life comes not from doing more, but from doing what actually matters. And to do that, you need health, both physical and emotional. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, pause, step back. Sometimes you need to stop to hear the rhythm of your own heartbeat again. And when you protect your physical energy, you're not just surviving, you're living purposefully. As the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. You must refill your own cup first, with rest, with love, and with healthy boundaries. You've spent a lifetime giving. Now is the time to give to yourself. Live a little colder, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom. And in that cold clarity, you'll find peace, strength, and a renewed sense of purpose. Number 8, emotional independence fosters self-esteem. And that is the art of emotional independence. This doesn't mean becoming cold-hearted or detached from the world. Rather, it means freeing yourself from the need for external validation in order to feel secure or worthy. By this stage in life, you've likely weathered enough storms to know that true self-worth doesn't come from others. It comes from within. Ask yourself, why do I feel drained when trying to please everyone? Or am I truly living for myself? Or am I still chasing approval I no longer need? In your younger years, it's natural to want to be liked and accepted. But as you age, constantly seeking approval becomes emotionally exhausting and can quietly erode your self-esteem. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That simple truth holds even more power in your later years. Learning to be emotionally independent marks a powerful turning point. It means you begin to make decisions based on your own values and true needs, not based on other people's opinions or expectations. You start setting boundaries, standing by them, and most importantly, you stop needing reassurance. You feel at peace because you finally trust yourself. Take John, for example, an 80-year-old man who spent most of his life seeking recognition from colleagues and family. Eventually, he realized that the need for approval was not only tiring, but unnecessary. Today, he makes choices based on what truly matters to him, nurturing a stronger sense of self-worth and emotional freedom. At this stage in life, you might find that silence is more meaningful than arguments, and solitude feels more fulfilling than crowded rooms. In that quiet, you can finally hear the voice of your own heart, something that often gets lost during the busyness of earlier decades. Listening to yourself and trusting your own instincts is not selfish, it's healing. It allows you to live more authentically, unburdened by the judgments or expectations of others. As the saying goes, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. When you release the pressure to be validated, when you stop seeking confirmation from others, something beautiful happens. Your self-esteem begins to flourish, grounded in truth and not in fleeting praise. So let me ask you, are you living your own truth, or are you still trying to live up to someone else's expectations? If you can honestly answer that question and begin to embrace emotional independence, you'll discover that the peace and strength you've been looking for were within you all along. Choosing to live coldly in your 70s, not with bitterness, but with clarity and emotional strength, may just be the warmest, wisest thing you ever do.